Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be making mixes, pancake and puff puff mix. We'll be starting with the puff puff mix. Let's dive in. I start off by measuring my flour. I'm using cups to measure. I'm not using scale to measure. Reason is that many a times some people who are not bakers do not have the measuring scale. Most people have just cups that they use to measure, especially if you're not a baker. But puff puff and pancake is a regular breakfast recipe that many families tend to create in their kitchen, even without owning a scale. So that is why I'm using the cup to measure, because it is conversant and familiar with many people. And anybody can just use this measurement easily. So I measure out my flour using my cup. You check the description for the recipe for both puff puff and pancake. The recipes are going to be separate. So, first of all, mixes are you already prepped ingredients for making either puff puff or pancake. It saves you time such that if you want to make any of these products, you just mix it up with maybe water or whichever required liquid. You don't have to stress yourself measuring or breaking your head trying to figure out if you measured it accurately. Sometimes some of these mixes can be found in supermarkets or stores, but today I'm showing you how you can make it yourself. So for the puff puff, I have 4 major ingredients: flour, yeast, sugar, and salt. Flour, yeast, sugar, and salt are the major ingredients for puff puff. You can see them here. So I measure it out in a bowl. Check description for the recipe of each of the ingredients. So in a clean container, I already washed it, dried it. Ensure that your container is free of moisture. It does not have any form of liquid or moisture in it. Ensure it is properly dried. After I have measured out, I start pouring all other ingredients into the flour, which is in the bigger bowl. I had my yeast, I had my sugar, and I had my salt. So what I just do is I just mix it up together. Just find a way, either using a spatula or using a whisk, to ensure it is properly combined. It's not flour is at the bottom, sugar is up. Ensure everything is properly incorporated. And what do? You just store it in a container such that any in the morning or in the night, you just want to make a pancake for the family, you want to make puff for the family. You don't need to start stressing yourself trying to figure out where is my cookbook, where did I write down the recipe. You already know that two cups of the puff puff mix, you just mix with a certain amount of water, and that's all. So it saves you the stress of having a perfect recipe, or having to start scratching your head. I don't know if I'm doing it the right way. And it also saves you time, especially for people who are early risers or people who don't want stress. It saves you time and stress. You can pick up randomly in the supermarket, or you can prep yourself and just put in an airtight container such that once you want to use, you just pick it up and use it. This was me removing particles that came in with the sugar. Sometimes this industrial sugar coming with some funny particles, maybe just black something from the bag or from the nylon which you bought it with. So I was just picking it out. And this is me combining it using my spatula. I just make sure it's thoroughly mixed. Just make sure everything comes together perfectly. So you don't have to bother about whether it is there's flour on top or sugar on top. Ensure you mix it properly. And I switched to using my wicks. I felt using these wicks will give it more room to combine very well within a shorter period of time. So I use my metal wicks to combine it properly before storage. Next is our pancake mix. So I made this pancake mix and I'm keeping it. So guys, I first of all have to measure out my flour. I'm using my cups as usual because many families tend to make pancake and they may not have a kitchen scale. And this cup is a regular equipment which they use to just measure so that you can be very familiar with this video. So I'm measuring it out and pouring it inside my bowl. Please know that my flour has already been sifted. That is why you find it in this bowl. Check my previous videos for how I preserve my flour for a longer period of time. So if you buy your flour from the market, you don't just dump it into your container or just keep it in the nylon bag. There's a way you can keep your flour and it will serve you for a longer time, and it will increase the shelf life and it will stay longer before it starts developing wavels. Next is my leavener. First of all, I brought out my baking soda. For leavening or raising agent, either use baking soda or baking powder, or you can even decide to use the both of them. But for the sake of this video, I'm showing the two of them. Baking soda requires that you need an acid for it to be activated, either lemon juice or vinegar. While for baking powder, you just need liquid and heat for it to be activated. But because this is a mix, I'm mixing it and I'm keeping it. So I am going to be using only my baking powder because I am not sure what I'm going to use to mix my batter. If you are confident or you are very sure that I'll be adding an acid to your batter when you're mixing, for example, adding buttermilk which contain vinegar or adding lemon juice to activate your baking soda, then you can go ahead to use baking soda. But me, I use baking powder in case I forget or I don't have at that point in time. So I can use baking powder and it serves good purpose. Next is my sugar. I'm measuring my sugar and I am pouring it right into the other container. Please remember to check description for both puff puff mix and pancake mix. And also, when you now want to use it, what equal amount of liquid do you need to mix it? They're all in description. So here I use just 3 ingredients for my pancake mix, which is sugar, flour, and raising agent or leavener, which I used baking powder. I chose baking powder over baking soda for the reasons I gave you earlier, that I'm not sure what I'm going to use to mix it. What if I forget to add an acid and the baking soda is not activated? So I'm sure baking powder will serve me the purpose, and that was why I used it. But if you're sure you're going to add buttermilk, which contains vinegar or lemon juice, then you are sure that your baking soda is going to work. But for benefit of doubt, I am using baking powder in case I forget or I don't have at the time which I want to use it. So just 3 ingredients and I'm good to go. I have my container already washed and dried, and I'm going to transfer this into the container. Please ensure that container is free from moisture, because once there's moisture in this container, it's going to affect your mix. Please, 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 and please ensure your container does not have any form of moisture. When you have emptied your mix into your container, please cover it. Ensure your container is airtight to avoid air from entering it. This is the first one I made, which is my puff-puff mix. Yes, I just made 2 cups because, 2 cups of flour because I will be using it almost immediately. But I'm showing you this so that you can prepare yours. And here is my pancake mix. This can also serve as your waffle mix. Pancake and waffle have almost the same batter. You can label to ensure the day you made it. You can label. It is very important. You can say, I made this in August. You can label to ensure the day you made it. And I'm taking extra care. I'm taking extra precaution by using a nylon to seal up the cover so that no form of air is going to get in. And guys, I did something. You see this silica gel that comes in shoes and bags? I wanted to experiment something. Please note that I didn't drop it directly into the floor. I placed something. I wanted to experiment if it's going to help prevent moisture. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Bye.